Broadcasting from the KHON TV Broadcast Center in Hawaii Tower, this is Fox 2, Hawaii's news channel.
This is the Channel 2 News at 6 with Malia Maddock, Hawaii's #1 news.
Funding of the state's public library system comes into question. King Street shuts down in front of a Li'iolani Hale, and Afghanistan's vice president is assassinated. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for our Channel 2 News on this Saturday, the 6th of July. The legislature is being accused by some of not properly financing the Hawaii public library system, but one lawmaker is criticizing the state librarian for refusing to open a new library. Donaldin De La Cruz reports.
That's a good one anyway.
Book lovers were out in force today at the 55th annual book sale. It's an event hosted by the Friends of the Library of Hawaii, which for the past 123 years has supported the public library system. The money made here, however, cannot make up the cost to completely fund a financially strapped department.
The librarian put in the request, and the legislature didn't fund it. And on top of not funding it, they even took another 2% cut out of the total budget packet.
Jackie says last year's fundraiser put $108,000 into the system, which includes 50 operating public libraries.
The Friends of the Library are selling off books, and they're selling them for pennies on a dollar. Those books could have been given to Kapolei Library, at least loaned temporarily, to open this library.
The Kapolei Public Library is a beautiful but empty building. The 1998 legislature allocated capital funds to build it, but the state librarian says this past legislature failed to cover operational costs.
If you're going to build a building and open as a library, that you have to be able to pay the bills.
The schools didn't get what they wanted. I don't see a school closed. The schools opened with what they had.
Lowell says $1.7 million is needed to open up this library. Donations plus state funds for the library total $350,000. which Lowell says will go toward building the Kapolei Library's collection.
For a library, you need shelves, you need books. None of those things have been funded. Without the proper funding, you can't run a facility.
Moses says he believes the current amount of donated books and the number of volunteers willing to work in the library should warrant its opening. But Lowell says there are federal and state requirements that must be met.
We have to have the union's agreements. So that means we can't have volunteers doing work that would normally be assigned to library staff.
Even if the next legislature approves the money needed for the library to operate, the funds don't become available until the governor signs the budget bill. Donaldin De La Cruz, Channel 2 News.
The Friends of the Library of Hawaii book sale continues through July 13th. Tragedy has hit the RIMPAC 2002 exercises. A Peruvian sailor was fatally struck yesterday by a gun-loading mechanism aboard the frigate BAP Montero off the coast of Kauai. The sailor was attempting to clear the gun mount after it had misfired while conducting a ship-sinking exercise. The sailor's name is being withheld until notification of next of kin. And on the Big Island, 8 U.S. Marines who were hurt after a grenade exploded during training are recovering from their injuries tonight. The Marines, all stationed at Kaneohe Marine Corps Base, were participating in training exercises at Pohakuloa Training Area in support of RIMPAC 2002. A grenade inadvertently deflected back into a trench and detonated where the Marines were huddled. 5 of the Marines were medevaced to the area medical aid station, and the other 3 were flown to Hilo Hospital. 7 of the victims have since been moved to Tripler Army Medical Center. A 55-year-old man is in critical condition after his motorcycle collided head-on with a car this afternoon. Officials responded to the call from St. Louis Heights around 2:30 this afternoon. The victim was rushed to Queens Medical Center. Police are investigating whether alcohol or speed were factors in the collision. No other injuries were reported. King Street between Richards and Punchbowl Streets in downtown Honolulu is closed until 8 this evening for the filming of a Bruce Willis movie currently titled Tears of the Sun. The area fronting Ali'i Hale was used to double as a presidential palace in Nigeria for a scene shot today. Bruce Willis was not at today's filming. The set, which includes a temporary fence, is expected to be cleared by Monday. U.S. Representative Patsy Mink says she expects the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in San Francisco to overturn a ruling on the Pledge of Allegiance. A California judge who earlier ruled the pledge unconstitutional in public schools blocked it from being enforced a day after his controversial ruling. Mink says the challenge came at an inappropriate time in history.
The country's sense of patriotism and allegiance to our country has never been higher in my view. And so to have the courts challenge the pledge, I think was very disturbing to vast majority of the people of Hawaii as well as throughout the country.
She says Congress almost unanimously objected to the challenge to the Pledge of Allegiance in schools. Afghanistan has suffered another blow to its fragile peace. One of the country's new vice presidents was assassinated today along with his chauffeur. The gunman escaped, leaving the bullet-riddled car in the center of Kabul. John Riedler reports.
The scene of an assassination. The wrecked van that carried Afghan Vice President Haji Abdul Qadir to his death, riddled with 24 bullet holes.
This tragic incident is a loss for us. We've lost a friend, a good leader in this country.
Alarming enough that one of Afghanistan's 3 vice presidents could be shot dead. More alarming that it could happen this way, in the middle of the day, in the middle of the capital. Also surprising was the fact that Mr. Qadir had no security guards with him, but that's the way he wanted it.
A colleague and a friend of ours who spent several hours with him last night, that he didn't really believe in having lots of security guards around.
The vehicle came through here, the main gates of the Ministry of Public Works. It was a right-hand drive, so the driver on this side, the passenger on this. Officials say 2 gunmen jumped from behind bushes just over there and opened fire. Eyewitnesses say the 2 gunmen jumped into a passing taxi and sped off. As for who did it and why, there are no definite answers yet. Mr. Qadir was a well-known warlord in eastern Afghanistan. He had been a fierce foe of the Taliban and a leading commander in the Northern Alliance's fight to topple the extremist Islamic regime. But to the new transitional government, there is only one word to describe his murderers.
Whoever is behind this very cowardly act is considered by the government, first of all, as a terrorist.
This is the 2nd assassination of an Afghan cabinet minister this year. The Minister for Civil Aviation and Tourism was shot at Kabul airport in February. But the new government vows not to be intimidated.
They are not going to deter us from the path that we have started towards bringing peace and stability to this country.
The new Afghan government has been criticized for not being able to control areas beyond Kabul. But today's events suggest it is not able to control areas in Kabul. John Riedler, CNN, Kabul, Afghanistan.
The U.S. Embassy in Greece is said to be on maximum alert over concerns of a terrorist attack. Officials are concerned about retaliation after police recovered dozens of anti-tank rockets and other heavy weaponry during a raid in an Athens apartment. It was the 2nd such raid in a week linked to the mysterious November 17th terrorist group. However, no arrests have been made. The terror organization has claimed responsibility for 22 killings since 1975, including the deaths of 4 American officials. International pressure to arrest its members has heightened since Athens is hosting the 2004 Olympics. Authorities in Florida say 3 young brothers found dead in a backyard swimming pool yesterday accidentally drowned. An investigator says the medical examiner found no evidence of foul play. Authorities say the boys' father had been watching them but had gone inside to get something to eat. Their neighbor later found the boys in her pool after she returned home from work. Investigators are still wondering how the boys, aged 4, 7, and 9, got into their neighbor's backyard because it is surrounded by a 6-foot-tall wooden fence. Coming up next on our Channel 2 News, we'll take you on a new summertime adventure in Hawaii, and still to come, helping Keiki get ready to learn. And in sports, the Williams sisters battle it out at Wimbledon.
First display of
If you're a business leader or plan to be one,
you can find success at James. James has an intercultural management program,
plus 2 15-month MBA programs in partnership with the University of Hawaii.
James offers corporate seminars
and internship opportunities in Hawaii, Japan, China, and the U.S.
James wa Seikaway no Passporto.
在今日竞争激烈的市场上，你可不能落后。
James, connecting careers, cultures, and people.
For more information, call or visit our website.
Behind all 2002 Saturn L series and behind most 2002 Saturn S series, you'll now find 0% APR financing for 5 years. For restrictions, see your retailer.
Business people told me it'd be a financial disaster. They didn't know what to do.
Not long ago, Hawaii's business community faced a regulatory nightmare.
The paperwork and record keeping would have cost millions.
No one was willing to help but Maisie Hirono.
I told the legislature the entire act was a bad idea. Let's repeal it.
Maisie listened to the business community, and the legislature listened to Maisie. Maisie Hirono, governor. Tested, trusted, ready.
Imagine a world without borders, where lines no longer divide countries or peoples or cultures, where the only law is to respect one another. Where does this world exist? Inside our walls. The Honolulu Academy of Arts, celebrating 75 years of art touching lives.
If your family is looking for some summertime fun that's free and also educational, just head to the former Barbers Point Naval Air Station. That's where you'll find the Hawaii Museum of Flying. As Ramsey Wharton reports, for 3 years, the hands-on museum has been helping Hawaii's aviation history come alive.
On a small portion of the now Kalaeloa Airport, you'll find several military aircrafts, vehicles, and equipment just waiting to be touched. It's no ordinary museum. There are no ropes to stand behind, no do not touch signs, just ladders begging to be climbed.
Climb in the aircraft, walk around it, learn about it, touch it, play with it. And that's how you inspire kids that will become the engineers, they're going to become the pilots, and they'll become astronauts. That's going to take aviation to its next step in the future, and those are the kids we want to grab now.
There are fighter jets, including one used in the movie Top Gun, a large Navy P-3 Orion aircraft, similar to the one that went down in China last year, and we're told this is the largest fire truck in Hawaii.
It's pretty fun.
7-year-old Cameron Roberts and his brother are loving every minute of this, and Mom, well, she couldn't be happier.
Oh, I just mentioned airplanes, military jeeps, fire trucks, anything like that, and they were ready.
There's also a Russian-made anti-aircraft gun taken from Iraq during Desert Storm, a Korean War-era Jeep, and this CH-53 Sea Stallion helicopter that's coming back from being used on a nearby Bruce Willis movie set. This Marine aircraft was part of the presidential fleet under the Nixon, Ford, and even Clinton administration, transporting members of the Secret Service, staffers, and, of course, members of the press corps. But you're more apt to see it in the upcoming Bruce Willis film, with Willis jumping out of the back of the helo. The Hawaii Museum of Flying is free to the public, but the nonprofit group does accept donations. It's open 7 days a week, but you will need to call ahead for an appointment. From Kalaeloa, Ramsey Wharton, Channel 2 News.
For appointments and more information on the Hawaii Museum of Flying, call 682-4041. The museum's curator says they'll soon be adding 3 Hawaii agricultural aircrafts to the collection. Thousands of needy children around the state can now go back to school ready to learn. Children and volunteers gathered at the Palama settlement today for this year's Ready to Learn donation drive. The local nonprofit organization collected school supplies and monetary donations that will be distributed to more than 20,000 underprivileged children across the state. Local NFL star Chris Bomatu Ma'afala also pledged his support, saying that he had a special interest in the event.
I took interest because, you know, a lot of the kids, especially in this neighborhood where I grew up, right across the street, you know, a lot of the kids don't have the money to buy all the school supplies. So it's a good event. You know, we can pass out some school supplies to a lot of the kids that are unfortunate.
Also, as you can see, being set up
New school supplies or monetary donations are still being accepted at the drive's warehouse located at 2100 North Nimitz Highway. Thousands of partygoers have hit the streets of Pamplona ahead of the annual Running of the Bulls Festival. The screaming, champagne-soaked revelers kicked off the 9-day festival, which begins tomorrow in Spain. After virtually 20 hours of non-stop celebration, scores of people, usually young men, will attempt to outrun 6 fighting bulls as sort of rite of passage. The spectacle is repeated each day until the 14th of July. The Running of the Bulls dates back to 1591, when its purpose was to move the bulls into the arena. Although a few people have died during the fiesta over the years, the excitement of Pamplona keeps more coming back. President Bush celebrated his 56th birthday with an early morning round of golf today. The President and First Lady are in Maine for a little fun in the sun at his father's home in Kennebunkport. Mr. Bush sported a baseball cap labeling him the boss, and he told reporters he feels a little older, if you know what I mean. The president was in good spirits on the second day of a long weekend with his extended family. The family plans to throw the president a party this evening, maybe a surprise party, said the president with a grin when asked what was in store for the rest of the day. When we return, a local production is in the spotlight. That's after this.
For over 35 years, Oahu residents have relied on Hau'oli Termite and Pest Control for all termite protection. Maybe it's because of advanced treatment methods such as termite baiting with Centricon and tent fumigation. The sense of security you get with your wood damage protection guarantee. And we're Kama'aina, who are part of the local landscape. For a free termite survey, call Hau'oli today at 836-0272.
From halfway around the globe, the world-famous crocodile hunter.
Go bring a few animals out that potentially could kill you.
You were on the Oprah Show. I have never done anything like this. Monday's Oprah.
Monday at 4 on Fox 2.
Hey, Jared.
Hey.
Hey, you look good.
Thank you.
What do you got there?
It's a Subway sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Oh.
What, are you off the diet? Jared's off the diet.
I'm not off the diet. It's a new low-fat taste from Subway.
Introducing great-tasting Subway Selects, like a delicious sweet onion chicken teriyaki and a red wine vinaigrette club.
You really had us going.
Subway, eat fresh.
Come to Subway today to cast your Pepsi All-Star ballot and enter to win a trip to the 2002 World Series. Grab a collectible baseball cup and vote. Pepsi All-Star ballot, only at Subway.
Chefs know that great meals begin with great ingredients. That's why for the past 15 years, I've been dealing with farmers like Kurt Hirabara here in Waimea.
Here at Hirabara Farms, we take great pride in producing food for Hawaii. And like all local farmers, we work very hard to ensure that the products are of the finest quality.
Look for the Buy Hawaii label. When you buy Hawaii, you support our local economy, and that helps all of us.
Together we can make a difference. Buy Hawaii. It's the right choice for all of us.
Brought to you by the State Department of Agriculture.
Planning to sell your home or condo this year? You're probably wondering how much it's worth. You can find out free on the web at housevalues.com. So if you're planning to sell, visit housevalues.com today. That's housevalues.com.
Broadway has often turned to the classics for its most loved productions. One of those classics, Man of La Mancha, will be produced on the Big Island for the next 2 weeks. Kirk Matthews recently talked with the star of the musical, Buzz Tennant, tonight's featured guest in the spotlight.
Could reach the unreachable star.
Don Quixote is a role that Buzz Tennant longed to play his entire adult life, after seeing it performed by Richard Kiley when Buzz was a young man.
I was, as I say, enthralled and inspired by his
charisma, his dramatic intensity, beautiful voice, and I just thought one day I would love to do this role.
Man of La Mancha is based on the Cervantes story of Don Quixote, a name we frequently associate with unwinnable battles or standards set so high they will never be attained. But Tennant feels there is much more to the character than that, especially in light of America's experience since September 11th.
Don Quixote belonged to a more graceful time, the age of chivalry, gentlemanly manners and unrequited love. And I think that we look up to him because he inspires us. And he is a universal archetype, the quintessential hero.
The Big Island production, directed by Susie Bond, draws on many resources in the community. It was staged just last February, and many of the same performers will grace the stage again. Melanie Robinson plays Dulcinea, and Jordan Stewart is featured as Sancho Panza.
It's a mix of baby boomers and borderline senior citizens, young folks, and it's a unique opportunity to learn from each other. And their energy infuses us, and hopefully our alleged wisdom impacts them.
One can only hope. With Buzz Tennant and the Man of La Mancha in the spotlight, I'm Kirk Matthews.
And Man of La Mancha will be performed next Friday and Saturday at the Palace Theater in Hilo, and the following Friday and Saturday, July 19th and 20th, at the Aloha Theater in Kona. Sounds good.
Check it out.
Stu Villahara here now with sports, and the Williams sisters battling it out in Wimbledon.
That's right, Malia. They went head-to-head for the singles title, and then they went on to put it aside and teamed up for the doubles action. We'll have that story when we come back next.
It's amazing. Dr. Okabe helped me rediscover my smile and even made a bevel.
Dr. Okabe's unique blending of technology and artistry reflects his total concern for the patient.
Thanks to Dr. Okabe, we've become healthier.
And we can stay healthier.
Comprehensive knowledge and caring. Dr. Jonathan Okabe. Call today for your free consultation. Imagine what a smile can do for you.
At Finance Factors, we're construction lending specialists. We ought to be. We've been doing this for 50 years now, and we're celebrating the Big 5-0 with outstanding deals on construction, remodeling, and land loans. Dream it. Build it. With Finance Factors, Hawaii's choice for home loans.
Meadow Gold Dairies is proud to support the thousands of keiki who participated in ASO in Hawaii for over 30 years. Meadow Gold, Hawaii's dairy. Nothing is fresher than Meadow Gold.
The experience of buying the car here at Honda Windward, customer service is great.
People are fantastic. They're incredible over there.
No pressure, no hassle.
It's very honest, very upfront. I think the customer service here at Honda Windward is the best.
It's the best service in town. I'm a believer, and I'll be coming back.
Honda Windward Kaneohe. Why go anywhere else?
Honda Windward. They're nice people to deal with.
Serena and Venus Williams met in the finals of the Wimbledon Championship today, their third Grand Slam final in the past 10 months. Little sister Serena leading Venus onto the court today. First set, Serena dumps a backhand that catches the net. The break levels the score 5-5. Serena a little frustrated, but little sis, she brought her game. First set tie break. Serena again in the far court, hits the net again. Venus dumps it back over. Serena nails the backhand down the line, and she's pumped. Set point, Serena closes it out in style. The 100-mile-per-hour ace sends Venus swinging at air. Second set now, Venus serving. Serena with a strong backhand return. Venus unable to hand it, slaps it right into the net. Serena goes on to win in straight sets, 7-6, 6-3. Later, the two teamed up in semifinals of the women's doubles. The Williamses taking on Anna Kournikova and Sandra Rubin. In the second set, Venus serving 3-0. Check out the power as Serena comes in and crushes this one past Rubin. The Williams win 6-7, 6-0, 6-3. Local boy Benny Agbayani got some disappointing news today. The Colorado Rocky outfielder was sent down to AAA Colorado Springs after yesterday's game against San Diego. Benny is batting a low 205, but he did have a couple of exciting hits. The former St. Louis and HPU star has 4 home runs this season, including a grand slam, but not enough as Agbayani slid into a 6-for-42 slump at the plate. The Rockies recalled Ben Patrick to shore up their outfield. Patrick was supposed to be the Rockies' starting catcher from 2001 until his retirement. This time up, he will be splitting time with Todd Hollinsworth in the outfield. National League action now. Arizona taking on San Francisco. Randy Johnson on the mound. Top of the first, Johnson gets his man swinging. That ties him with Don Sutton at 6th on the all-time list. It wouldn't stand for long. Top of the second, Johnson again. He passes Sutton to stand alone at the 6th spot. But it wasn't all roses for Arizona's ace today. Top of the 6th, Barry Bonds at the plate. 2 out, none on. Barry, the solo shot, his 26th of the season and his first ever off the big unit. San Francisco wins 3-2. American League, Blue Jays, Yankees. Toronto goes off in the 3rd inning. Jose Cruz Jr. rips the 2-run double out to left field. 3-0 Jays. Same inning, Vernon Wells with the RBI double to right. Toronto up 4-0. Next up, Josh Phelps takes this one to right as well. The throw home not in time. Jays go on to win this one 8-3. Yankees just a game in front of the Red Sox now. Boston taking on Detroit. Pedro Martinez pitched 5 solid innings as the Red Sox shut out the Tigers 8-0. From England to France now, bicycling's premier event, the Tour de France, got underway today. Lance Armstrong looking for his 4th straight title. France's Larnette Jalbert set the pace early with a time of 9 minutes, 10.52 seconds over the 4.34-mile course. Armstrong, the American, picked up where he left off last year, charging across the finish line and beating Halbert's time by 2 seconds. Only the second time he's won the Prologue, picking up the yellow jersey. Golf now, round 3 of the U.S. Women's Open. Annika Sorenstam, the measure of consistency today, hits the birdie on the 5th hole. Sorenstam again on the 7th. The nice shot to get her up on the green. She would tap in for birdie. The competition hanging tough though. Shani Waugh sinks the long putt for eagle on the 7th. She would finish the day 1 over par. Shot of the day though, Michelle Redmond's 2nd shot on the 9th hole. The bounce, the roll, and she nails this one for eagle. So after 3 rounds, Sorenstam sits atop the leaderboard at 2 under par. She shot her 2nd straight 1 under par 69 today. Sorenstam holds onto a 2-stroke lead over Jill McGill and Julie Inkster, tied for 2nd at even par. Back home, competitors from across the globe battled it out in the 2002 Kleinman Ko'olau Poko paddleboard race. The 3rd annual event ran from Mackay Pier in Waimanalo to the Outrigger Canoe Club in Waikiki. The 17-mile haul, a key warm-up in the Molokai to Oahu paddleboard race. Great conditions today for a record to be broken. Australia's Jamie Mitchell shatters Jimmy Austin's record by more than 10 minutes with a time of 2 hours, 11 minutes, 12 seconds.
Probably half an hour when you're trying to get around Makapu's into the, and it's real wishy-washy, but after that it's just downwind and nice swell and nice wind, and it's just so much fun.
Finishing 2nd was Honolulu's Matthew DeBrule in a time of 2 hours, 20 minutes, 52 seconds. 3rd was Aussie Mick DeBetta in 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 8 seconds. And 4th, Pearl City's Aaron Napoleon in 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 5 seconds. And that, Malia, is a look at sports on this Saturday evening.
Kind of cute to hear an Australian say Makapu.
Yeah, it didn't come out right, but, you know, he tried his best.
He was close. So kind of bad news for Benny, big-time bad news.
Yeah,
huh?
Nobody expected it, but he was, as we said, he was in a hitting slump. Not what we expected and not what anyone hopes for, but he is a competitor, and we hope to see him back sometime soon.
All right, thank you, Steve, for that. Let's take a look at our island weather. Our Channel 2 satellite weather map shows scattered low clouds across all islands. So tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies with some isolated showers, lows in the lower 70s, and trade winds coming in at 10 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow should be mostly sunny with some isolated showers, highs in the mid-80s, and no change in the winds. And looking ahead, the National Weather Service says we should see mostly sunny days and clear nights with some isolated showers, highs in the upper 80s and lows in the mid-70s. Trades picking up a bit to 15 to 30 miles per hour. And that is our 6 o'clock news for this Saturday. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you later tonight for our Channel 2 News at 10. Take care.
Closed captioning is provided as a community service by 7-Eleven Hawaii.
The Channel 2 News. We are Hawaii's #1 news channel.